Hey everybody, it's Harry from Slap It Daddy BBQ, the YouTube channel that teaches you how to master barbecue so you can spread barbecue love. I'm doing a viewer request today from one of my viewers from the Caribbean. He asked me, Harry, what's the best way to make the best jerk chicken? During my travels to Caribbean, I had an opportunity to taste their jerk chicken, picked up a few tips and tricks, including some Chinese ingredients used in making the jerk chicken. In this episode, I'm going to show you my little rendition of my version of the Jamaican style jerk chicken. We're going to make it fiery hot with some Scotch bonnet peppers and serve it with some coconut rice and beans. The Jamaican jerk chicken really begins with the aromatics, and we have a few here that we're using, including some green onions, some ginger, some garlic cloves. We also need the heat, which we get from the Scotch bonnet peppers. Very spicy. We have a lot of dry spices. The predominant flavor for the jerk is allspice, which is a berry that has hints of 3 types of notes. You have the flavor of cloves, you have the flavor of cinnamon, and you have the flavor of nutmeg. So we're going to supercharge our jerk chicken by combining the allspice together with the 3 sister ingredients to create a warming spice in the jerk marinade. We are going to add a little bit of an Asian influence with 2 things. We're going to use the 5-spice powder, which is very common in Asian cooking. And for the marinade salt, we're going to use a little bit of soy. So I have 2 Chinese style ingredients in this recipe, 5-spice and soy sauce. And to complement the spiciness, we're going to add a lot of ground black pepper. The secret I'm going to use is to use a little bit of a carrier. A carrier is a kind of infused oil. I'm not going to use water as the marinade. I'm actually going to use coconut milk because it has oil. So all the essential oils from all these dry ingredients, the aromatic ingredients, the spices, will basically infuse into the oil and the coconut milk. We're going to marinate the chicken overnight, show you guys how to set up your pit so you can do a wonderful Jamaican jerk grilled on the pit, as well as make a side dish of my favorite coconut rice with some beans. Half cup of soy sauce, 1 13.5 ounce can of coconut milk unsweetened, 2 bunches of green onions, 2 tablespoons of ginger, 8 garlic cloves, between 1 to 4 Scotch bonnets. I'm going to put in about 3. 1 tablespoon of black pepper, 1 tablespoon of ground allspice, half teaspoon of ground cloves, half teaspoon of ground cinnamon, half teaspoon of ground nutmeg, 1 tablespoon of 5-spice powder. As I've taught you many times before, when you make any kind of marinade or brine, it's very important to get the salinity or the salt level correct. We're going to do an overnight brine on a whole chicken, so we need it to be about twice the salinity of the ocean. So the ocean salinity is about 3.5% salt, which is about 3.5 pounds of salt in 100 pounds of water. I want to get this to be about 5% because I'm going to soak overnight. You vary the salinity based on the duration of the brine you want to use. In this case, I'm making a marinade. A marinade is nothing more than salt water, which is a brine, mixed with some aromatics. So I'm going to give it a taste test without burning myself from the Scotch bonnet pepper. I'm going to add just a touch of salt because the soy sauce that I used, the half cup, wasn't enough salinity with the 1 can of coconut milk. So we just add a little bit of salt to it. And I told you guys many times, when you cook, you gotta use the most powerful tool you have, which is your taste buds. So just a touch of salt, sit up a little bit. Take a clean fork, do another test. Okay, it's about 5% salinity. And once you get a hang of this, you can now make the brine, let it soak overnight. I have a whole chicken, spatchcock, which is cut down the backbone, split apart at the breastbone. I'm going to apply the marinade all over the chicken and let it soak in this jerk marinade overnight. It'll be absolutely fantastic. And with 1 can of coconut milk and a half cup of soy sauce, you have just enough to make sure that the chicken is covered entirely in the marinade like that. We'll let the jerk marinade soak overnight for maximum flavor. here. Let's make our coconut rice. I have a little bit of oil with a little bit of garlic here. I'm going to saute, create a little bit of garlic flavored oil to use onto the rice. This garlic flavored oil will be able to supercharge the flavor of the rice, which we're going to smoke in the pit with a little bit of salt and a little bit of coconut milk. Once the garlic is released the fragrance here, it smells really, really good. We don't want to burn the garlic. Get all that flavor out into the oil, so the oil will infuse the rice with all the wonderful flavor. To my 3 cups of washed jasmine rice, I've added the garlic oil, and I'm going to add about 1 can of a coconut milk, a 13-ounce can. I'm going to mix it with some hot water. I want to get about probably 5 cups of water in here because every rice is different. Some rice are thirstier than others. So I always tell people you just start with kind of 1 pot of rice and 2 pots of water, and you go from there. Some rice requires you to go a little bit more, some require a little less. You just have to get used to your particular brand of rice. And we're going to cook this in the pit. As the rice dries out, I'm going to keep adding water until I can get the rice to be nice and tender to make our coconut rice to go with our Caribbean jerk chicken. A little bit of salt in the rice, probably about half teaspoon or so. And I like to add this ingredient, which is a little bit of sesame oil to my coconut rice. Gives it just a very wonderful nutty flavor. This is ready to go. Let's put it in the pit and get some pit smoked coconut rice. Place our rice right here. Okay. And we are at 325 degrees. Let's smoke our beans and get some smoke on it. Cook with our rice. A bit of beans on the side here. Gonna be pretty amazing. $128. The thigh. $130. Ways to go. After about 2 hours in the pit at 325, 350, you want to get the breast to be about 150, 155. You want to get the thigh around 170-ish. And you want to cover it also so that it doesn't get too dark. You can see absolutely gorgeous color for my jerk chicken. I'm going to show you guys how we cut it up now and plate it. You need a big chef knife to cut the chicken. I'm going to use my Delstrong Devastator. I've been living with this knife for about a week now, using it for every single task in the kitchen and YouTube channel. First of all, you're going to sharpen it a little bit here. And this is a Rambo style chef knife. And you always want to make sure that you be very careful when you handle knives. This will allow you to dispatch something like a whole chicken. Spatchcock chicken. So, first thing, cut down the middle like so. Cut this part off here. And ready to plate. It's finally ready. This wonderful Jamaican style jerk chicken, my own rendition. Let's give it a taste test here. I'm going to pull a piece of the dark meat. Look at this beautiful piece of the thigh meat. The skin is absolutely super tender and moist. Got that nice char on it after cooking in the pit for about 2 hours, 2.5 hours or so. Let me take a bite of that dark meat. Wow. Just a tremendous flavor. That allspice together with the nutmeg, cinnamon and cloves really supercharges the flavor. You saw me use the hack with the coconut milk. Coconut milk really carries the essential oils of those dry ingredients into the marinade. We did also some aromatics. We did the garlic with the ginger, green onion. So absolutely amazing dish here. If I could just improve it a little bit, just needs a touch more salt. So You saw the amount of salt I used, so just add a little bit more, about 1 more teaspoon to the recipe, and this will be absolutely perfect. For those of you out there who are on low sodium diet, this will be absolutely fine. I tend to like my food really salty. So something that I like that thing seems normal, maybe really too salty to you, because I cook in competition, and in competition we tend to salt the food a lot stronger than we do for conventional cooking. But this is really good. Chicken, I'm gonna taste a bit of the breast now. Take a piece of the breast here. The breast is still very tender, very moist because of the brine. The brine infuses the meat, causes the repulsion of the microfibers of protein, and it makes it plump, and it also gives it flavor. So brining is a great way to cook your chicken. I'm gonna taste the white meat now. Give it the coconut rice and beans. Oh, Mr. Beans is waiting for me, so I just said his word, Mr. Beans. So beans and rice is a classic Caribbean style Jamaican food. This is absolutely superb. You can get the coconut flavor, the island flavor, together with some of the beans. Super tender and moist grains of rice. It's got a hint of smoke because I cooked the rice in the pit. I also cooked the beans in the pit. Now these are not normal beans. These are beans that I got from a Napa Valley bean company. And if you want to get like heritage beans, they are very expensive. I think I paid like $12 for a pound of beans. But again, right, I'm always after the ultimate in all the ingredients I use. If you want to try the beans that I use in this recipe, I'll leave the link in the description. You guys can go try and purchase these beans. Rancho beans are absolutely amazing. I never knew that beans would make a difference. I thought beans were generic, but apparently not. So enough of me talking. Now let me see if Mr. Beans would like to try some of these jerk chicken with a little bit of coconut rice and beans. It may sound weird to have Mr. Beans enjoy some beans, but let's see if he likes my Jamaican jerk chicken. The spiciness is not really strong. It's a little bit muted. I'm happy that I didn't overdo the Scotch bonnet peppers, but let's see if Mr. Beans will like some Caribbean style chicken. All right, Beans, I don't have brisket for you today, but we have some chicken. He's trying out the coconut rice. Moving out now over to the chicken now. Trying some of the chicken skin. Moving on to the beans. Mr. Beans eating black beans. I think he likes the beans. I've never seen a dog eat beans before, but hey, learn something new every day. While he's wolfing it down, either he's hungry or he must say it's really good. Not sure which. Slurping it down here. Not leaving any morsel behind. One more here, beans. Here we go. Final bean. Excellent job. Okay. Good job, Beans. Oh, he's licking the plate. So while Beans is finishing up the food, thank you so much for stopping by, watching my episode. Please like, subscribe, and share. For those of you who haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do so. The YouTube algorithm will only show you my videos if a lot of people subscribe. I'm kind of stuck at about 140,000 subscribers right now. So if you guys can help me out, I really appreciate it. I want to do a shout out for my Patreons, helping me keep the lights on the channel on, sponsoring the videos so I can provide free content on YouTube. See you guys in the next video.